question is from Katie from Sweden. I would like to ask a question regarding how we sit during the meditations. My experience is that it has been very liberating that we should make it comfortable for ourselves when we sit. It differs quite a lot from what others have communicated, and this feels much softer and nicer, and I've had much easier continuing showing up for the meditations because it has not felt so hard or painful. I think what I'm asking for is the background or thought behind it so I can understand the difference between different ways of doing it. This is always my favorite question.
She who loves to recline. Anyway, the nature, her favorite furniture in the house is the bed. So anyway, the nature of...
We just made that up.
Yeah, wherever she is, it's a bed.
Yes, it's about being why you have us be comfortable during meditation.
We're revealing each other's secrets, honey.
Yeah, well, we'll start revealing yours too.
This is revenge.
Careful.
Well, you were talking about it.
All right.
This is fun.
I'll start giving tours of the house if you're not careful.
Well, there's nothing there. Go ahead. It's all emptied and torn up and a mess. There's no. We don't have a place really.
Yeah, we do.
Actually, I do.
We have a meditation
They have
space.
not completely destroyed my room. All right. So, the nature of what I realized early on that there are two paths to meditation. One is through the discipline and the effort, and the other is through the relaxation and letting go. Because our being loves meditation. When we just are with what is, meditation comes naturally. It's a moving into relationship to nature, to the relaxation in your body, to the sense of calmness. You know, it's a vacating the ego, a vacation from the ego. So it's not uncommon for human beings to relax, right? So relaxation is actually where we're closer to our being. Now, in relax, we can be upset, you know, physically relax, we can have our mind running, and then, of course, that gets in the way because the whole system's interconnected. But when I began to do this work, then the first thing I had realized, going back, I got three things. First, I was sort of a natural meditator. I didn't need to do much to access the state of meditation. Action was a more challenge for me, especially as a young man. So it was always there, and it didn't take much for me to access it. So it wasn't anything I had to work to get. And when I was in high school, I think I practiced meditation, and it was wonderful. I mean, I could have sat half hour, 45 minutes, not a problem, not even a question. So meditation was sort of natural already, and when these states came, and after my awakening, these intense states, well, they meditated me way beyond what I would be inclined to do naturally. But I noticed it didn't take any care what position I was in. If I was laying down or sitting up or standing or driving a car, it came and just came. So in those conditions, of course, meditation is, you know, if there's water everywhere, what's the use of a well?
And then there's the rest of us.
Yeah. And part of that is learning to discipline the habit of the body's rajas. Or otherwise, Thomas is a more collaborative meditator because it just goes to sleep. And that's the problem with meditation, natural meditation, is if you didn't know better, the body says, oh, good, a nap. You know. So, but at least it says, oh, good, a nap. So without an outside energetic force, you will have to apply effort at least some stages of the time to develop the capacity so that you can meditate. Most of us live in environments that are not conducive to meditation, including a family life, right? And so, or work life, or some cities and dense areas of where humanity gather, you're not allowed because of all the, like we talked of earlier, the influences that are around you that are in endless activity. Only at night, and then you're so exhausted you sleep like everybody else. So what I discovered for me was that there was a time when the forces were no longer there. They just quieted. And after about a year and a half, 2 years, they quieted for a period of time. They would quiet periodically. And then I would have to meditate to access some approximation of that state. So it became a maintenance thing. And because I was in India at that time and I'd given up my job and my outer activities and my family and everything, I had nothing else to do. So I just sat. And it made no difference, really, but it was good to be upright somewhat. And it was good to be able to be relaxed and comfortable. But I got to tell you, in India, everybody meditates in no pillows, bones hitting against hard floors, all marble floors everywhere, concrete floors, and for hours and hours and hours. And the only thing that keeps them busy is they're endlessly chanting. But so it was very uncomfortable. But when I came back from India, my body had developed the strength to be upright and to sit uncomfortable for long periods of time. And I said, well, that doesn't seem like an attainment. It seems like something you taught your body how to do, like exercise. So when I came to start teaching, it was clear to me that I was bringing in a force that didn't require you to have a lot of effort to get access to it, that it was just helpful to be relaxed and comfortable, but not so comfortable that the tamas in you would unduly overtake you. So no laying down. As a matter of fact, the secret formula is 45 degrees, that you're reclined 45 degrees or more. And that's true for many of you who are used to laying down when you sleep at night. When the energy gets really big in your system, and it's coming in very strongly, when you're sleeping at night, evokes the tamas and it makes the force have to struggle harder in your body. And so it can prevent you from truly the system resting. So if you support yourself, it doesn't have to be the full 45 degrees, but you allow the force to flow through your system more easily, and your night rest will have periods of time where you'll be gone and the body recovers. And you won't have the fatigue that goes into the day, because the body is habituated to sleeping. And it's my experience that it needs, in my system, it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours of actual sleeping before it restores itself. But that can be done sitting up, where I blank out during those periods of time. And the rest of the time, I'm in the middle worlds, and I'm in everywhere. But the body gets its rest. So I don't have a bed in my room. I have a chair just like this. I sit probably in the same posture as here. I'll cross my legs or I'll have a footstool. And basically I noticed that my body has been quite resilient as it comes out of sometimes extremely intense series of days, like 9 days and 6 days, than if I ever lay down. I can't actually lay down anymore because the tamas creates a problem in my body, and it just becomes too uncomfortable. So I have to sit up. So it's the natural meditation pose. I visited St. Francis of Assisi's monastery in Assisi once, and they were tiny little rooms, and the beds were all stone, but they were reclined. In the monasteries, in Christian monasteries, they were like this. They weren't like this. Or they weren't like this, like India. You just stand alone or you fall over. So this is just a recognition that when there is an energy, the discipline of being vertical is less important, because the energy will align and awaken the system when you're more receptive to it. If you're struggling to keep yourself upright and in a rigid posture, you get in the way. The body gets in the way of being able to receive the full transmission. It's my experience that the force that comes through, the soft force, is for the body. It's in the body. It is the body that gets the best use. It's other spiritual energies are more for the consciousness and the transcendence, but this is for the transformation. So they do the operations when you're laying down prone on a bed or slightly inclined anyway. Right? So be comfortable while the operations are going on. And the force will bring its own anesthesia, so you don't have to worry about too much pain.
Okay, we have to finish up.